Being a conversationalist has taught me that some of life's greatest value comes from the stories, journeys, and experiences of others. Through this podcast, I'll be speaking with some of the most tapped in and inspiring individuals from various different industries to unpack the gems behind successfully navigating our way through life with purpose. This is Candid Conversations on the Nicola Dawkins podcast. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Nicola Dawkins podcast. I am your host, Nicola, and I'm here to bring you part 3 of Leaving My 9 to 5. So part 3 is a full circle moment, cha. It's a full circle moment, cha. Part 3 is returning to work. So a lot of you may know from the previous episode, so it wasn't part 3, but I done an episode last week and kind of gave you guys a bit of an idea of what it looked like really kind of returning to work and how I ended up returning to work, because I know it is on so many people's heart. When is the right time to jump? When should you leave your 9 to 5? What is it going to look like? Is it the final destination? Am I going to fall on my face? There are so many questions behind when is the right time to leave your 9 to 5. And ultimately, I think follow your intuition. If you feel something nudging you and telling you you need to go, go. And embrace the journey that lies ahead of you. And I am so grateful for the journey that this past 3 years has been. And I'm grateful for what is to come. I told you guys in the last episode that I was fasting. So I was doing some praying and fasting with a group of people leading up to an event. And I said to God, you know, Lord, you know what my situation is right now. You know what I have coming up. And please make a way. Show me what's next. Whatever your will is, let it be revealed to me. And we move. And I received a call. I received a call that week. And the call was offering me a job in the property sector. Basically what I was doing before. And I was like, hey? I was confused at first because it wasn't what I expected the good Lord to have next or up next in store for me. And to be honest with you, I even tried to decipher it. I was like, okay, Lord, so are you giving me this right now because the kind of what you have in store for me isn't ready yet? Or do you have another plan for me elsewhere? And I really started to dissect and try and figure out, okay, what's the purpose behind this? Maybe a bit purpose obsessive, to be honest with you. And one thing that I have learned is I don't know what God's plan is. Honestly speaking, I have tried to decipher God's plan. And every time I try and decipher God's plan, I realize that it evolves, it changes, the route changes, the direction changes, the destination probably changes. And I realize that it's not for us to know what God's plan is for our life. It's not for us to preempt the next steps. It is just for us to have faith in that wherever we are and wherever we're led is exactly where we are supposed to be. I started questioning purpose. I was like, but Lord, how am I going to be purposeful in this role? And then I realized you can be purposeful wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And I realized that purpose isn't something that you're able to obtain. And it's not even something that you necessarily fulfill. If you fulfill your purpose, you're out of here. I always say I want to fulfill my purpose. Then you've got to realize, actually, if you fulfill your purpose, that means you're done. Purpose is something that you walk in. And I feel like that's what I'm learning, is that you walk in purpose. And that looks like so many different things. And I know that God has to use us differently in different seasons. And I have really enjoyed actually being back. Because it's a part of me. And it's funny, it's like everyone that I tell, my family and my friends, when I tell them, oh yeah, like I've gone back and this is what I'm doing, they're like, this is you. And I'm like, but the podcast is me, the purpose platform is me. And then I realize it can all be you. And I think sometimes being multifaceted, if I have any multifaceted watching right now, please drop me a signal and drop me a line, because you guys will know, one, how much of a blessing it is to be multifaceted, but also it is, it's hard. It leaves you kind of trying to figure out, what am I supposed to be doing? Or I'm gifted in this area. Which one should I be focusing on? When you're actually good at a number of things, it can become confusing because you don't know which one to pursue. You don't know which one to go after or which one you're going to be most purposeful in, and whatever it might be. And I'm really learning, if you need to take anything from this episode today, embrace the journey. I'm going to let that sit. Let me let it sit for a moment. Embrace the journey. Honestly, because I'm really realizing, and I actually feel a bit emotional when I said that, because I'm realizing more and more that it is the value is in the journey. The past 3 years, not me getting emotional. Y'all might get an emotional me on this episode, but honestly, the past 3 years, everything that I've built, everything that I've experienced, from the wedding planning, the events, the purpose platform, the daily intention planner, the credit ebook, the personal brand, the relationships, and the beautiful DMs I get from you guys, the beautiful messages I get, the feedback, the people I've met, the people I've networked with, the lives that I've actually touched in 3 years by being brave enough to say yes to pursuing my purpose and to be consistent through it all is priceless to me. And it's something that I am not going to stop. I'm here recording for you guys now. It is hot outside. It is the weekend. I've been waking up at 5 a.m. every day in the week, going to the gym, going to work for long hours, and still I'm here, and I'm very determined to make sure that I keep my foot on the gas with this. And everything, the blueprint, God gave me the blueprint, and I have to be faithful in continuing it. And I'm so excited for what is to come, and I'm also really grateful to actually be back in the property sector, because it's a part of me that I put to sleep for a very long time. If you knew me or you've been following me from when I was in the property sector before, you will know I was that girl. Like, I think I said in episode 1, I won Letters Negotiator of the Year for 4 consecutive years. I was the highest banking employee for the company. I generated over $1 million in revenue. Like, really and truly, I'm a natural at the what's the word? What the job entails. I'm a natural at it, and I do actually enjoy it. And it's funny because over the past 3 years, of course, I closed the door on that chapter and kind of put it to sleep. And I've been focusing on pursuing purpose. And then I realized you could be purposeful in multiple things. It's harder trying to maybe balance. It is also, for me, being an overthinker child and always trying to figure out, God, what's your plan? It is confusing sometimes trying to decipher, okay, what is my purpose in this season? And I realized that actually in different seasons, we have different purposes. And I don't know what God's purpose is for me in this season, but this is where he's led me, and I'm faithfully moving forward. And he knows what we need more than we know what we need. Because I have just, it's been 2 weeks since I've been back. I've been so productive and just already, making waves and enjoying it. And then waking up at 5 a.m. and going to the gym and making sure that all the work I've put in over the past 2.5 years, if you guys have been following, some of you might be here from the fitness journey, I've lost like 20 kg. And speaking of fitness, I turned up today in my sedulous fit. So if you guys might remember an episode that I done with Terry early on, and Terry is the owner and founder of Sedulous Fit, and this is actually some of her apparel, which I'm sporting today. Very great for working out in, also very great for leisure. Small plug. But Terry will be back soon as well. I'm looking forward to welcoming Terry back for an episode soon. But yeah, I've been waking up early, going to the gym, going to work, and work is work. Like, it's a lot. It's a high pressure job. But I actually perform best under pressure, and it's rebirthed in me a part of who I am. And if you kind of feel like you maybe put part of yourself to sleep, don't forget about who you are in every area and in every season. Because I think I've been quite hard on myself, to be completely honest with you guys, about, okay, I'm not doing that anymore, that goes away, this is what I'm doing. I'm not doing that anymore, that goes away, this is what I'm doing. But actually, you can embrace it all. You can embrace it all. You can be purposeful in it all, and you can do it all. You can do it all, and you can have it all. And that's what I'm learning, and that's what do you know what I mean? I'm embracing that in this moment, because, like I said, God has different purposes for us in different seasons, but there's not a part of us that he mistook. There is no mistake in who he created us to be, and you don't have to put any part of yourself to sleep or to bed to be thriving and successful in a different area, or you don't have to bench one thing to go after another thing. Of course, when we were talking about being multifaceted, of course you have to focus and you have to put your all into things. So, well, that's me. I don't like to divide my eggs now. A lot of the times I do put a lot of focus in one thing at a time, but as long as you can be faithful and be impactful in whatever it is that you're doing, don't feel a way to split, you know, your focus and going, right, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this too. The podcast is still alive. The purpose platform is still alive. The blueprint is still existing. And it's made me realize that actually, yeah, you can do both. And I'm grateful, because had I not have taken those 3 years out, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys now. I wouldn't have the amazing memories. On Instagram, I had a memory that came up 2 days ago that said 3 years ago today. And it was some of the videos from the weddings that I was working at when I went and done wedding planning and events. And what an experience, like what an experience, what a journey. Like, life is genuinely, and I know it sounds so cliche, but life is genuinely about the journey. It is really about the journey. It is about just taking that risk, making some mistakes, following your dreams, going after what you want, being around good people, having supportive people in your life is so important. And I want to take a moment. I know some of my friends and family might be watching now. I am so grateful and thankful for the people who surround me, my friends, my family, and even you guys who don't know me but send me DMs. Like, it means the world. And it fuels me. It allows me to continue whatever I've turned around and told my friends and family. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going back here, whatever it might be. They go, yeah. And they're just behind me. And I think it's so important to have people behind you that support you. It's so important to have people behind you that believe in you. It's so important to have people behind you that are going to help you and lift you up and are able to grow with you and to assist you in different seasons. It's not just party seasons. It's not just down seasons. Sometimes you've got friends that can only help you in party seasons. They can tell you what to wear. They can tell you what we're drinking today. They can put you onto the greatest clubs. But when you need help, when you might be down, when you might need supporting, they're nowhere to be seen. And you might have friends that are actually only good when you're down in the dumps. They're there for you. They're lifting you up. And actually, when you start doing well, suddenly they're not as present, or they might not have the same enthusiasm as when you've made it. They're there to help you try and get up, but actually when you are up and on your feet, their energy changes. It's so important to actually have multi-purpose friends who just care for you, for who you are, and for you to be that friend too. And take inventory. Do you know what? It's about taking inventory of yourself as well. Sometimes look yourself in the mirror. Do you know, sometimes when things are not going right in life, it might not be what is going on around you, why things are not going right in life. It might be you. Sometimes you have to look within and go, okay, what have I done recently? Who did I upset recently? Who do I need to apologize to? Who do I need to ask forgiveness from? Is it God? Is it my thoughts? Is it my actions? What is it that I have been doing recently that has tainted the energy around me and that is attracting the negative things that are happening in my life? Sometimes you really have to take inventory of yourself, your surroundings, what you are doing, and make that right. And I'll tell you guys an example. Actually, one time, what happened? I think this was in 2021. I remember there was a train of things that just kept going wrong. And there were such small things, like the delivery guy. I'm not even going to say their names. Hermes came to my house with my parcel. I was inside the house, and then they said she wasn't in, and left with my parcel. I needed my jacket. It was a jacket. I was going to a festival. I needed my jacket, and I was like, what is this guy talking about? Now, if anybody knows Hermes, you know you cannot get hold of Hermes. Now, the good DPD now, if they said they came, you can ring DPD and be like, they did not come. They can't show the picture of the front door, and they will send their driver back. Shout out DPD, because DPD really, they'll make sure that what needs to be done gets done. The driver will meet you at the top of the road. Hermes now, everybody who knows Hermes knows that when Hermes has your parcel, your heart is on edge until it's in your hand. That is Hermes for you. But I remember there was just a train of things happening that were just going wrong, like, and little things to just irk you. And you know, when one thing happens and then another thing happens, and I was just like, no, I had to sit down and take inventory. I had to pray. I said, Lord, if I have done anything, if there's just energy around me, I really just pray for forgiveness, and I just ask that this energy is lifted. Sometimes you have to pray, Lord, lift this energy, whatever this negative bubble is around me, lift this energy, Jesus. I just pray that it is moved. I just pray that I am attracting the right things, whatever it is that you have in store for me in this season, Lord, let it be bestowed upon me. Anything that is not for me in this season, anyone that is around me that is affecting the energy that is happening at the moment, Lord, remove them from my life. Like, sometimes you really have to ask God to come in and take charge of what is going on in your situation, because it might be you might have done a little something, or it might be someone around you. But what I find is, when things are trying to bog you down, pray on it. Pray that the energy is lifted, pray that the energy is moved, and I'm telling you, it moves. The energy is moved, the energy is lifted. And you have to remember that when you pray, it is done. You can't pray without faith. So make sure you always put faith behind your prayers. When you're praying, don't be like, oh, I hope, okay, Lord, if you can do it, okay. And then still you're worrying. If you're still worrying after you prayed, you didn't put faith behind the prayer. What you have to do is send the prayer up and know that you've given God the instruction. Okay, God, this is what I need. Great. And you have to just trust that he's now at work. And then your mind's peace. And then he gives you the peace. It's an exchange. You give him the prayer, he gives you the peace while he's working. And honestly, it will change your life in every aspect, every area. So yeah, do take inventory, embrace the journey, take risks. It's okay to step back to move forward. It's okay to take on more than one thing. It's okay to not even know what you want to do in life. I know there are so many people and so much pressure on finding your purpose. What is my purpose? What is it that I'm supposed to be doing in life? Your purpose might not be revealed to you yet, or you might be walking in your purpose without even realizing. And there are some people who go, we help people find their purpose. Now, no disrespect to people who specialize in helping people uncover or find their purpose, but I truly don't believe any person or individual can help you find your purpose. Just walk in your truth, walk in who you are, and eventually when it's supposed to, it will be revealed to you. And at that point, you might even realize that, oh, I've been walking in my purpose for 5 years. I've been living in my purpose for 10 years. I've been affecting the lives of these people. You could be a teacher. If you are a teacher and you are inspiring these children, and you don't know what life you're touching, and in 5, 10, 15 years time, that child grows up and says, I remember Mr. X, Y, and Z, or I remember Miss X, Y, and Z, and that was what shaped my life. That is you literally living and walking in purpose. So take the pressure off of finding your purpose, or trying to have people help you find your purpose, and just live in your truth. Like, the moment you can just shed everything off and live in your truth, it's a game. Like, it's just a game changer. Don't worry about people's opinions. Don't worry about how things look. Don't worry about appearances, perceptions. It's all a waste of time. You will rob yourself of your best life if you worry about people's opinions of you, if you worry about your perception, if you worry about, okay, what if this goes wrong? What if it looks like this? Quit fear. Divorce fear and just walk in your truth. And at least you can just stand with your head proud and say, I did that, or I tried that, or I'm not wondering what if. You don't want to hit 80 and have regrets. You don't want to hit 60 and you can't move the way you used to, and you just wish that you ran that marathon. It doesn't even have to be doesn't have to be business goals. It can be any goals. You're never too late. Just go for it. Forget about what people think. That's my word for today. That genuinely is just from the heart today. That was, let it sit. Let it sit now. Honestly, just live your life. The word for today is live your life. Live your life for you. Trust in God and be free. And I think I'm going to leave it on that note. That really came, child, y'all getting it from the heart today. Honestly, I'm grateful for you guys as well. I do want to take this moment to just say that I'm grateful to everyone who tunes into the podcast, who watches the episodes, who gives feedback, who hits the little thumbs up. If you leave any comments, if you sent me a DM, I am truly grateful for you guys being a part of this journey and my journey. And we here, man. We here. We in this together. Please feel free to DM. Please feel free to write or comment, and just let me know as well. Guests will be back soon. So what guests you want to appear on the show, what topics you want covered. You know, this is the Nicola Dawkins podcast, but it is our podcast. So any requests, any feedback, whatever it might be, just always feel free to reach out. And I'm going to leave it on there. Enjoy the sun. It's about to be 40 degrees on Monday. Enjoy the sun. Be safe in the heat. And I will be back soon. This has been another episode of the Nicola Dawkins podcast, powered, of course, by the Purpose platform. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. Follow the podcast on Spotify. And I will be back soon. Bye.